Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick.
And my name is Chris. And Nick, what do we got in store today?
Today, Chris, we're taking a cheeky look at XLM, Stellar Lumens. We've got some interesting kind of price prediction stuff. And yeah, I can see it happening, Chris. I honestly can. So we go into, and that's not something I say lightly, is it? I
No,
normally
it
kind of, and specifically where the source is as well, which we'll get into that. But guys, if you do find this useful and informative, go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. And as always, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do here on Cheeky Crypto. With that said, Chris, we have a look at the last 24 hours in the markets, have a look at Stellar, jump into the charts, then jump into this article, and then just reconfirm what this article and this price prediction for XLM is talking about.
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds great.
Fantastic. Right, here we are on CoinMarketCap, and I'm just going to zoom in here. We can see that we have a market cap of 558 billion USD. The trading volume has been 106 billion, and Bitcoin's dominance is at 63.2%. So a bit of a movement in the last 24 hours. If we have a look, we have as the XRP in the red, we have Filecoin in the red, VeChain in the red, Algorand red, Zilliqa red. We have Hedera red, RSR in the red, and Solve in the red. However, the others are all in the green, and XLM is no exception. So if we give that a click, we can see here it's currently trading at 17.1 cents, at 6.28% up for today. Market cap is at 3.7 billion USD, trading volume of 655 million USD. Circulating supply, as we all know, is the 21.7 billion XLM, with a 50 billion available as a total supply. And just to refresh people's memories, the all-time high here is at 93 cents. That was accomplished on January the 4th, 2018. So let's have a look at the charts, Chris, right? So here we're on the Stellar Lumens to USD daily chart here in the candlestick formation. We have put a fib retracement on here, and this goes from the high of the 25th of November and the low here of the 4th of November. From this, we were able to indicate that we are seeing a lot of testing of the area of the 50% retracements. Okay, and this is something that was tested quite a lot recently. So we had the first test here on the 26th of November, tested again on the 8th of December, 9th of December, 11th, and then we took off from there on the 12th of December. Now, we just delete these out and zoom in for you guys so you get a better picture and a bigger idea of what's going on here. We have a couple levels of support and resistance that I've drawn in here, and very roughly drawn. So we have the one that we're kind of hovering on right now. That's at 17, just get that right, 17.5, and we're at 17.6, okay? So we're just above that line. Whether or not we're going to close above it is going to be an interesting thing to obviously watch out for. The next level of resistance is at 18 cents. And then if we jump up here a little bit further, we have one at 20 cents, okay? Now, I put in a downward trend and an upward trend. The downward trend has been breached here. And sometimes this can act as a bit of a trap, right? Which is why we need to see what happens in these couple of zones here. Sometimes you breach here and it gets you a bit of a false positive. And then all of a sudden crashes back down, and potentially enters into all these zones down here, right? We get lots of stuff happening in this zone. So be cautious with this. Sometimes trend lines are not your friend. So we do have to just watch that out. The upward trend is obviously connected by 3 candlesticks as well, or 3 wicks, I should say, and we also have 3 wicks on the down, so they're equally as bad as each other in this scenario. Now, obviously, they do intersect at the 15th of December, so we were expecting something to have happened before then, and we have had this green positive candle today, which is good news for XLM. However, we need to see what happens in the next day or so. Okay, so here we can see, obviously down at the bottom as well, the MACD, which shows us a shift in buying pattern, and this was starting to cross over on the daily. Now, if we were to then change this into a more of an hourly look, we get a bit of a different picture, right? So we have actually crossed over here, and we have a higher blue than we have a red line. So that's a really positive news from the MACD perspective. Now, here we obviously had that green candle 1 hour ago, and we're currently a red candle today in the last hour. So really interested to see if this changes, if we can stay above this level of support and resistance here. Now I'm going to just flick this back into the hourly, so the daily view, so we can get a nice clear view of what's happening. Now, Chris, is there anything you want to talk about on price or charts at this point before we have a look at this article?
No, nothing from me, Nick. Let's crack on, get straight into it. I love it.
Fantastic. So let's have a look now. Normally, FX Street are a bit of a joke on the channel. We always like to poke a bit of fun at them, and maybe we shouldn't do that going forward, because this is something that actually makes a lot of sense to me. So stellar price prediction. XLM is breaking out, primed for the 40% rally towards 23 cents. Okay, so maybe a new analyst here is onto something. So let's check it out. XLM bulls are set for a big movement northward. Descending triangle spotted on the 12-hourly chart. XLM USDT, okay, probes the 21 SMA amid bullish RSI. So really good indicators are indicating this green candle, which obviously broke through that trend line. So Stellar Lumens is primed for a massive upswing against Tether as a key technical breakout looks imminent on the 12-hour time frame. So XLM and USDT is on the verge of confirming a descending triangle breakout on the given time frame, having breached the falling trending resistance at 16.2. Okay, so at the time of writing, the token trades at about 17.3, challenging the 21 simple moving averages, the SMA. So acceptance above the latter could trigger a fresh 40% rally towards the measured target of the 22.7 region. Now, the path of least resistance appears to be the upside, as the relative strength index, the RSI, trades firmer at 55.54, allowing room for more gains. So that's really strong from the RSI perspective, as well as the SMA. So really bullish signals happening there. So any pullbacks could meet initial demand at the pattern resistance below, support around 16.3. A failure to resist above the latter could fuel a fresh drop towards the horizon trend line, support at 14.4. So they could then aim for a 40% retracement from that level, with a test of the downside at 0.08. Likely on the cards. However, the upswing, so the upward sloping 50 SMA at 12.16 could challenge the bear's commitment before reaching the above aforementioned target. So they're saying there could still be potential for a downward trend all the way down to the 8 cent level, but let's see what the 40% upside looks like, right? So if we hop back over to our chart here, and the reason that this kind of caught my attention was 23 cents is something that we've been at before, right? And that's the top end here. It's kind of our high end here was 22.9 cents, right? So that's this line here, which is 100% level. So let me just go and get my arrows and put these on, right? So if we're able to stay here, potentially test this area, and maybe that then comes back down and does a bit of sideways action here, bounces between here before potentially coming up to this zone. This zone then might come back down and retest this zone. From here, we might then breach back up and test this. Now, this is the 23 cent level, okay? So we could have a bit of a sideways motion, right? We test here, up, down. And if I put in a, where are we, an Elliott wave, for example, we could say, you know, we're here to here, to here, to here, to here, to here, right? And that gets us our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motion, which would be really interesting to see if that happens and that plays out. And if it does, that gets us to that 23 cent. But obviously, this is an area that is then limited with testing. So we'll see if the bulls or the bears will then be able to control it. I imagine it will probably fall back down to testing this level, before potentially then reaching up to the next level up entirely. Now, if I just pull this down for you guys, the next level would take this up to about here, which would be 32 cents. Now, that seems like a bit of a stretch target, so let's just see how we play out in the next few days. But 23 definitely seems feasible. So for once, I'm actually impressed with FX Street actually bringing up the 23, the 40% rally here, and their analysis actually seems pretty sound. Now, obviously, they're still undecided, as always. They would say it could go up, it could go down, it could go sideways. They're pretty uncommitted, aren't they, Chris?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
But nonetheless, we have a pretty positive kind of motion here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential, with a retrace back down here to start another trigger up to the next leg up. So yeah, really interesting times, I feel, for stellar lumens, Chris. What's your thoughts on everything?
Yeah, like I was saying for a while, wasn't I, that it seemed really quiet, but I think behind the scenes they've just been getting deals done, right? And for me, I can definitely see this happening, but I can also see it breaking out much further in 2021. The reason for this is obviously you've got the CBDCs that are going to be on their platform. You've got the 𝗕𝗘𝗀𝗠𝗪 project as well. And there was another piece of news. It just eluded me just now.
That's
but
the German bank.
German bank. That was it.
That basically, have basically put a tokenized version of the euro on there, and it's a huge step forwards for many different things. So absolutely massive that that's going to be on the stellar's network as well. And to put this out there, we could see 73 cents for Stellar during 2021, but I also think we're going to see new all-time highs as well, Chris. It's going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah, I agree. So it's definitely one that I'm trying to position myself better in. That and ADA are probably the two that I'm heavily focused on at the moment. But yeah, 2021 is going to be one amazing year, I believe, and I'm so excited about it.
Absolutely. So guys, if you did find this useful and informative, smash up that like button for Chris. He really appreciates it. I really appreciate it. The whole Cheeky Crypto community really appreciates it. And if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the videos and live streams that we do on the channel. And with that said, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you in the next one.
That's it. Thanks, everyone.